A social commentator, a rising Hispanic conservative influencer's
Don't say it.
private messaging exposed.
Fuck.
And what's in them
was fucking trash.
Talk about ugly. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
Nothing to see here, please.
is what's next. What's up, guys? Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose, of course, as always. Happy Wednesday. Well, in the last 24 hours, a story has broke, especially in the Twitterverse and in social media, in regarding a social commentator, Hispanic, conservative, and his private messaging. Well, that's the key. Private messaging. They were exposed, and what was in them, holy shit, man. Wow. Talk about mind-blowing. Let's take a look. And not for the better. Out of Breitbart. Exclusive. Rising conservative influencer Pedro Gonzalez has regularly espoused racism and anti-Semitic sentiments in his private messaging. That's him there. Pedro Gonzalez, a rising conservative influencer and politics editor of Chronicles magazine, regularly in 2019 and 20, sent racist and anti-Semitic messages. Breitbart News can reveal this after reviewing months' worth of his private messaging. More recently, Gonzalez has become perhaps most well known as one of the most active and strident pro-Florida Governor Ron DeSantis influencers on Twitter. Gonzalez responded to Breitbart News investigation after this article was published by claiming he's a target of Trump, and that's why his messages became public. He did not address any of the content of the messages, but did admit that they were from a different dumb season in my life, quote unquote. The DeSantis campaign and DeSantis himself remain silent at this moment. The pro-DeSantis super PAC Never Back Down, however, called Gonzalez's statements as exposed in his article inexcusable and made clear that Never Back Down has no relationship whatsoever. Pedro Gonzalez. I am blown away by the amount of support I've received from every corner amid this smear campaign by Trump's camp. I cannot express the words how much it means that so many are standing with me, even those who have vehemently disagreed with me in the past. The only reason my private messaging I exchange with Trump supporters from a different dumb season in my life are being used against me, and that I've become the most effective critic of Trump since jumping off the Trump train. I'm going to address this smear at length, but I'm not going to let Trump campaign silence me. Thanks again so much to everyone who's defending me and offering me grace. Yeah, not like every Jew is problematic, but the sad fact is that most are, Gonzalez wrote in one group chat in 2019. Another, the only tactical consideration of Jews is screening them for movements. Another, I used to be like that, where I tried to ignore how subversive these people are. I'm at the point where I can respect Jews as individuals and like them as individuals, but as a group, I see them as problematic. And yet another message, Gonzalez shared a clearly anti-Semitic cartoon of a man wearing a Pepe shirt grabbing the large nose of a Jewish editor-in-chief of a newspaper. Mr. Hebowitz, editor-in-chief, appears in the nameplate of the desk below. While the man declares, "Getting real tired of this shit," Gonzalez, when sharing the cartoon, wrote, "Laugh my ass off." Minorities like me see America for what it is, a country built by whites that can only survive if whites survive. And it's my job to make whites wake up, because if they don't, we're all, especially people like me. The feeling when you realize when there's only the only hope of non-whites have living in civilized lives, but white themselves are too cucked to preserve their own civilizations, Gonzalez wrote in another message. This one, wow. Quote, "The negress and the Jew never the twain shall meet." About Candace Owens, the black conservative personality who is now at Daily Wire, but previously worked for Turning Point USA, Gonzalez referred to her as negress, while referencing a feud between Daily Wire Shapiro and Owens, the negress and the Jew. Gonzalez wrote, adding the comment how the two were so different they could not coexist, quote, "Never the twain shall meet." About Cassie Dillon, now a Fox News reporter, but previously a writer for Daily Wire, Gonzalez called her, quote, "chosen people ho," in one group chat. Another, Gonzalez constantly defends and praises white nationalist and Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes. Gonzalez called Fuentes the future and says for Fuentes, you can see him gradually refining himself because he says Fuentes is getting ready for bigger things. He brags about how 3 contacts with a line to Fuentes, including one who he says was putting 2 in touch. I never thought I would agree with so much what Fuentes has to say, Gonzalez said in one message. Another. He calls Fuentes intelligent and laments his immaturity does not help him but be taken seriously in American politics. Again, Fuentes does one good thing when he trolls Jews. He shows people how subversive they can be, Gonzalez wrote in another message. Fuentes does one good thing when trolling Jews. He shows people how subversive they can be. Remember Mike Tokes? That guy who was positioning himself to be a spokesperson for the new right? Well, Tokes was basically like Kirk. No social conservatism, and he even calls authentic conservatism backwards. Another, I'm taking arms with the Gropers, a group of far-right individuals, including white nationalists. In some messages, he can even express a hope for impending boogaloo, a concept of a looming civil war in America where some far-right circles have predicted incoming soon. In one message with a friend, Gonzalez shares a link to article The Hill, where Representative Adam Kinzinger, yes, Mr. Soy Boy, I Cry in Congress, attacked former President Trump for quoting a pastor warning of a looming civil war over his impeachment. Gonzalez reacted to Kinzinger's remark to a friend, you know why the oligarchs hate the boogaloo, because it means we aren't afraid of them. The right needs to embrace this. Anytime when you're quoting Kinzinger, it's clownish. Right-wing death squads formed. These and countless more other are part of the lengthy series of Telegram messages Gonzalez sent throughout the mid to late 2019, and early 2020 that Breitbart News has obtained. Some were sent in group chat titled Right-Wing Death Squad. Others one-on-one messages that Gonzalez has sent to someone who works in the conservative movement who is also in the group chat. And race and ethnicity are so pervasive in Gonzalez's messages that even when others are joking about significant others, Gonzalez, who is married to a German immigrant, found a way to shift the conversation to race by joking about how he likes, quote, German women fam because they are the master race. My thoughts. Wow. Just, wow. For Breitbart to get this information off his Telegram account, does Pedro have some viability or variability? I guess I don't know which wording is correct. In regards to saying, hey, someone from the Trump camp leaked this. Does he have a leg to stand on regarding this? Now, you could say, well, this had to be exposed. Look at that. It's conservative. Look at he's making these cracks, these racist, anti-Semitic tropes, smacking down Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens, and then elevating Nick Fuentes, who's, yeah. But kind of reminds me of the whole Kevin Hart situation. Remember like 10, 12 years ago when Kevin Hart was being, quote unquote, groomed in the true definition of the word for the Oscars? His career was on fire. They came to him, hey, would you like to be the host of the Oscars? Sure. Why not? And then, of course, a tweet came out in regards to his son playing with dollhouses or something of that nature. And he said, well, I don't want to make you the big gay. Of course, that got out. And then, of course, Kevin Hart went on an apology tour to the likes that we've never seen a celebrity go on and that I can remember. And I mean, he showed up on Ellen twice to grovel, to get on his hands and knees, to grab both ankles and say, I'm sorry to the woke mob. Well, the woke mob, you know how they are. It's never going to be enough. Same thing goes with Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez did the same thing. Showed up on Candace Owens' show when Candace Owens was independent. I think she was for Prager. I think it might have been PragerU at the time. When she was doing her show, and he basically said, yeah, 2-3-year-olds, when it comes to transgenderism, they can't make that decision. They don't know what they're doing. You can't do that. Parents have to be involved. Oh, no, Mario. No, you will bend the knee to the woke mob. And of course, Mario did that. He thought he was going to lose everything. So he bent over and grabbed both ankles. And of course, those of us who like Mario said, no, dude, you weren't going to lose anything. Had you stood your ground, you would have been just fine. But to each their own. But if this is just the tip of the spear as far as, and the article goes a little bit deeper, but if there is more to this than what he just initially said or what was initially in the article, then damn, dude. Damn. But he's saying it was a different time. I was in a dumb place. I made stupid comments. I did stupid things, as a lot of us do when we're young. When we're younger, yeah, you're in your 20s. I mean, me, I'm in my 50 plus now. I did stupid things in my 20s. Now, what I want them exposed on social media, thank God I grew up in the 80s and there was no such thing as it because, yeah. Anywho, if there's more to this, this is just going to get uglier and uglier. And, but he is standing his ground and saying, hey, it was the Trump camp pointing fingers. The Trump camp has been silent. DeSantis' camp has been silent. But we're going to see where this goes. But yeah, total surprise to me. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.